2個目のね、殺害の現場からロンドンに帰ってきて、そして、3つ目の予告の手紙を見つけたところです。
By the way, Hastings, what day is it?
Well, looking at the calendar, it's the 30th. No time to lose. We must prepare our suitcases for Churston.
Mon Dieu, it is already 10 o'clock. I will call Scotland Yard immediately.
新しいお知らせ。トロフィーを獲得しました。PS ボタンを押すと詳細を確認できます。
Miss Hastings tore the envelope. Poor Mr. Poirot. Not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps? Let us see if you can do any better this time. This time it is an easy one. Churston on the 30th. Do try and do something about it. It is a bit dull having it all my own way, you know. Good hunting. Ever yours, ABC.
White ホワイトホースっていうのはお酒の名前だね。
I lock my revolver in this drawer. I've not used it in a very long time. It is not the right time.
あ、なんだっけこのワニ。このワニはさ、このワニはお土産で相棒が、ベネズエラで休暇を取って、そしてカイマン、自分で仕留めて白線して持ってきたんだけど、匂いがきつすぎるんだけども、ここの主人公のためにもお土産として持ってきたもの。
Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, they have not yet helped to find him. Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach. Killer struck at midnight. It is not a good time. Ah, some cool air. Hello, chap. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Cheston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back. It is not a good time.
時刻表ってどっかにあるのかな。時刻表。あ、来た。
Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry. We have to get to Churston before the murder.
Your height, Hastings. It is an emergency.
At last, Poirot, you're being reasonable. Poirot, you were right. I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning. After the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two. Although I have very little doubt about what we will find. We've missed the 6:45 train, but we have plenty of time to catch the night train. Hastings' photo album. He's very proud of his bag. Poor Mr. Poirot. Not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps? Let us see if you can do any better this time. Hastings, it would appear that you are getting slightly thin on top.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
It is now the right time. Mon ami, it is a pleasure to be working with you again. I have missed you this past few years. Right, let us compare this new letter with the second one. Let us examine this more closely. Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Yes, this I is weird. Right, let us compare this with the other letter. Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory. The W is not printed properly. Right, let us compare this with the other letter. Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. Right, let us compare this with the other letter. That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same typewriter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. The letter should have arrived in time. The postmark shows that it was sent 3 days ago. However, our man made a mistake in the address, which explains the delay. All the same, the post office took their time correcting the error.
Come on, Poirot. Your address is not quite as well known as that of Scotland Yard. Poirot, the telephone. It must be Jap.
I have some news from Churchton. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clark was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clark. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train.
Oh. チャールストン。
The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clark, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
You go, my friends. I will come soon. Jap has emptied the victim's pockets and has laid out their contents on this piece of wax cloth. It is pointless. An Oriental dragon. It's an old piece, much older than a pocket watch on which it was fastened. Nothing appears to be missing from this wallet.
物取りではない。
A signet ring, very probably with the Clark family's coat of arms. An ABC guide, the murderer's customary signature, covered in blood this time. Sir Carmichael's throat was cut. It's a clean incision, a professional murder. The gravel on the path has been sprayed with blood that covers a conical-shaped area, which starts at the body and becomes wider as it moves further from the bush. Apart from the wound to the throat, the body is untouched. No cuts, no bruises. This place is very calming. The site is exceptional. It is easy to imagine that Sir Carmichael used to enjoy stopping here every evening. The body is just in front of a bush, one of the only bushes in the surrounding area. The body is just in front of a bush, one of the only bushes in the surrounding area. The vegetation behind the bush has been trampled. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work. Sir Carmichael had his back to the bush when the killer cut the throat from behind. A fatal blow that sprayed blood over a range of more than 1 meter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Have you finished, Poirot?
Chief Inspector, many questions remain unanswered, but I am certain of one thing. The killer has prepared his crime very carefully.
Quite right. He must have known Sir Carmichael's movements well to plan such an attack.
The murderer struck with terrible savagery.
Yes, blood flowed. It's the first time he's attacked a man. He armed himself accordingly.
Have you spoken to the victim's family, Chief Inspector?
I've spoken to the brother, Franklin Clark. I didn't get much out of him. He's yours. I must get the body removed.
To be honest, this inspector seems rather obtuse. I'm counting on your friend Poirot to catch my brother's murderer. Ah, here he is now. Please, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Poirot, this is my brother's secretary, Miss Thora Gray.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Poirot. Would you like some tea?
No, thank you, mademoiselle. I find it hard to digest. It is now the right time. It is now the right time. There is something elegant about her. She has good taste, except perhaps in her choice of jewelry.
Please excuse me, I have to take care of Lady Clark.
Hastings does not like very hot tea. He's going to blow on his cup for a good while before drinking. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to question him. It is now the right time.
My brother's wife is gravely ill. You will probably want to question her, but I fear that it won't be possible today.
Of course, I understand. Someone set a trap for your brother. Who was familiar with his habits?
Everybody knew he took his evening walk at 8:30, and that he always followed the same path.
And did people of the village know Sir Carmichael's habits?
I don't know. It's possible.
What were you doing last night?
After dinner, I went to my bedroom. At 11 in the evening, the telephone rang. It was the police. I went to look for my brother.
Was it a dark night?
It was a new moon. I took a lantern.
So it was you who found the body.
Yes, along with the gardener.
Have you seen any strangers around the house recently?
No. As far as I know, nobody has been near the house. Oh, Lady Clark must have fallen from her chair. I have to help Miss Gray get her up.
Hastings, while our host is gone, let's examine the drawing room.
But, Poirot, a gentleman shouldn't...
I take full responsibility. All you have to do is to leave the drawing room door ajar and let me know if anyone is coming. A tiger. Homeside's private collection, purchases since 1920. The catalogue for Sir Carmichael Clark's collection. A crane? It is an emperor. His place at the center of the table is probably symbolic. A dragon. A tiger. A turtle. Dragon, dragon, dragon. Sir Carmichael showed himself to be very consistent in his collection's theme.
上が竜、鶴、亀。
I'm not going to leave now. There are some very valuable objects here. Compass, point to the south. Bronze and magnetite, Han Dynasty, circa 210 BC, purchased in Hong Kong 1935. There are some very valuable objects here. Traditional Chinese map. Facsimile. South is on the top of the map.
もっとよく見たいんだけどな。
Turtle, dragon, crane, and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere.
Tsuru. Kame. かんねえな。もう一回ちょっとテーブルを見てこないと。色と
The cardinal points. This book could maybe help me. Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the imperial dragon,
赤、
and
青、
out of
黒、
respect,
白。
all the others are turned towards him.
赤、青。亀がね、こっちだった。
The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table.
白黒。ダメだね。
It is blocked.
あ、下が黒だね。あれ、さっき変わっちゃってる。赤、青、黒、白。赤、 苦労しよう。
The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table.
どうしたらいいんだろうな。わけはわかんねえなあ。
The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table.
どういうこと？どうしたらいいんだろう。もうわかんないからヒント使っちゃおうかな。 ヒント使っちゃう。どういうこと？黒、白。青、黒は変わってない。青と黒がさっき変わった。青、黒、赤、白。
Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the impaled dragon, and out of respect, all the others are turned towards him. Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the impaled dragon, and out of respect, all the others are turned towards him. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table.
全然わかんないんだけど。白、赤、青、黒。
Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the impaled dragon, and out of respect, all the others are turned towards him. Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the impaled dragon, and out of respect, all the others are turned towards him. Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the impaled dragon, and out of respect, all the others are turned towards him. The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table.
テーブルをちょっと見ていきたい。
It is an emperor. His place at the center of the table is probably symbolic.
竜の下が亀なんですよ。亀、竜の下が亀です。
Turtle, dragon, crane, and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere.
Eh, と
The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table.
うーん、なんでダメなんだろうな。
Position of each motif resembles that of those on the table. It is blocked. think I heard a bang. Could it be this cupboard? This is interesting. These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is here. Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. To Sir Carmichael Clark, MD, Comsite Churton, Devon. Brighton, 1935, January the 5th. As a man of science, I owe it to you to be completely frank. Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I confess I didn't suspect anything like that during the first exams. But with the test results I have received today, there is unfortunately no place for doubt. I estimate that Lady Clark's life expectancy is no more than 1 year. Hospitalization would not help in her case, so I advise you to keep her at home and provide her with as much morphine as required to ease her last moments. Yours sincerely, Ernest Logan.
Here's Miss Gray.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Lady Clark's condition requires regular care. I believe you want to ask me a few questions.
Indeed, mademoiselle. This porcelain is remarkable. Is it old?
It's about 3 centuries old, I believe. Wait, let me find the reference.
じゃあ今回はここら辺で終了です。